Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror PSA presented by Scary Nerd. And as always, we are your hosts. I'm Paul.
I'm Saul.
And I'm Angie.
The following is a public service announcement.
A young female embezzler arrives at the Bates Motel, which has terrible secrets of its own. That's right. We watched the 1998 version of Psycho, not the good one.
Not the good one.
Not the original one.
No.
And
Because
that was
we're
not
doing,
the Bates Motel.
We were no, it's not. We're doing Crazy Mom.
Mommy Issue Month.
Mommy Issue Month. Is that what we're calling it?
Welcome to Mommy Issue May.
Mommy
There you
Issues
go.
May, other Mother's Day.
Yep. And we decided to start off with this Psycho because we wanted to save the Hitchcock one for another time.
We're gonna do a
Yes.
Hitchcock month at some point.
Yeah.
We figured.
Yeah,
So
eventually.
we'll save the good one. For
And I
later.
mean, this is almost a nearly carbon copy of it.
Okay.
Anyway.
It was a
Okay.
more modern update of it. Like I don't think I've seen the original from start to finish. I know I've seen it in chunks.
Oh, I've seen it from start to finish.
it's better from start to finish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously everybody's seen the most iconic scene.
Oh yeah, the
that
shower
one, the
scene.
shower.
The shower scene is pop culture.
That one, the reveal of the mom, and then like kind of everything in between.
The staircase.
Yeah,
The
the
staircase.
Me up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think even back then, and when Hitchcock made it, I'm like, this looks ridiculous, right? But I don't
Yeah.
think he gave a shit. He was like, yeah,
But
that's-
Hitchcock
that's
was-
the style, bro.
That was the style.
That's my shiz.
And
is
I
what he
don't-
would say.
But yeah, and
Not
that's
really,
why
but-
I'm like, it's so hard to take this and make a carbon copy of it.
Okay. Before we go any further, I just real quick, good or bad?
Bad. I remember when this movie
No,
came out.
no. I just good or bad. Just say good or
Bad.
bad. That's all.
Not very good.
No, it's good or bad?
Bad.
Okay, if we all say bad, one of us has to defend it. We're instituting that rule this time.
This time, okay. So, Paul,
We're
you're going to
do
defend it.
I'm not saying I'm defending it.
Well, I don't know if I can defend
I'm
this movie.
saying that's the beauty
Kim,
of it.
pick
Kim,
a number between 1 and 5. Okay, don't tell us.
All right, 1 through 5. Kim has her number. I'm going to say 1.
3.
2.
I don't want to defend this.
It was
Hey.
the fairest way.
All right. Well, next time it's either me or Angie.
Yep.
Damn it. Okay.
And
So-
I know Saul's going to wait to pick a Rob Zombie movie for me to have to defend one day.
Well, hey, there is a zombie movie that has mommy issues.
Oh, yeah.
So we shall see. But anyway, let's get into this carbon copy update that wasn't really an update because it was very stylistic 60s.
Yeah.
Hey, the only thing that they really updated
Was
was
the cars?
the amount of money, the cars in some scenes, and why did Vince Vaughn's character look like he was ready to go clubbing
I don't know.
in half the scenes? Or he was
Those
like, what was his
shirts.
like those?
Yeah, the shirts.
Those like
just
he
didn't
reminded
work.
me of the SNL like club guys. I'm like, if he threw a coat over that, he's exactly that, and could have been that.
Yeah, and like Anthony Perkins always eating worked.
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn always
No.
eating does not work.
It takes you out of whatever the hell he's doing.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you doing it so weird too? Eat it normally, like you
And
would.
I get, and I get that Vince Vaughn in his career at this point, because this was years before. This was still a few years before he got that. Was it Maid or whatever?
Yeah.
When he really got well known and started doing other things. But you're an actor, and it comes up, and you need money. You need a part. So I'm like, you can't blame him for taking it.
Yeah.
Can't blame him for taking it. It's where you were in your career, but yeah, it's just not good.
I don't blame anybody for being in this movie. I'm just like, I don't know why.
They
That's
need the
thing,
money.
too.
They
Well,
needed
like,
the money. That's why.
Studio wise,
Yeah,
artistic
studio-wise.
wise,
Like, who
They
is
wanted
like
the money.
like
Who is like, I'm going to make this movie and it's going to be a shot for shot remake, except we're going to have weird shirts and he's going to beat off at one point.
and sometimes we're
updated.
gonna update the clothes. Only sometimes,
Just a few
because
times.
Marianne was very 60s. Anne Heche was
Yeah.
very 60s in
Their
her
whole
clothes,
office.
her purse. Yeah, the office.
The whole office setting and everything.
Even Rita Wilson, she
Yes.
was all 60s, and her boss, those suits were 60s. Like,
yeah,
it was all 60s attire.
That
Yeah.
whole scene, if you would have just said that this was in the 60s, like no one would question it.
No,
Yeah.
they wouldn't. Well, here's the other thing about it, though, too. Being an Arizona native.
Are you defending us?
No, here's what I'm defending.
you have
Yeah,
to
you
defend
gotta
it.
defend it. Don't forget.
Because it's updated. They're showing being an Arizona native when they did the overhead shot of Phoenix, and I see the at the time, the Bank One building. I'm like, is that Phoenix? And when they did it, like the only thing to me that was missing was the shot of the arena, the shot of the ballpark. But the ballpark hadn't been built yet. But like seeing it, I'm like, okay, this is Phoenix. But when it wasn't Phoenix is when they did the establishing shots of inside the city. I'm like, where is that? I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah, like when she's driving downtown
Yeah,
or
when she's
whatever.
driving downtown.
Yeah.
Basically, I think the opening shot was
That was the only thing
that was in
Phoenix.
Phoenix, because that overhead shot is actually downtown, and they go into the Westward Ho. That's still
Yeah, and did you guys hear when he was like, you guys should get the boss to turn on the AC in this office? I was like, if that motherfucking office doesn't have AC, those bitches need to leave.
Here's the thing.
That's another like in factuality, 'cause that's not true. Like,
Yeah,
there's no
that
way.
could not be true at all.
Phoenix could not be a city without air conditioning, and especially not just one room, the entire freaking building.
See, wait, unless this was February and he was just, and it was a warm February day for some random reason. He was jokingly like, just turn on the AC in here.
Even still, he was like, the AC's on in my office. Nope. You paying for AC for you, you're paying for AC for us, bitch.
Yeah, it's cooler in my office. Like, that's why
I was
we
like,
leave.
I would
That's
be
why-
stealing $400,000 too from that job.
it's cooler in my office, and that's why we leave the door open when you ain't here.
That's why I take long lunch to go fuck my boyfriend in a cheap ass hotel down the street.
Because at least that cheap ass hotel's got AC.
Yeah, but again, I didn't get at the time. I was like, there's not a need to remake it.
Is
Other
there
than
ever-
a cash grab, like
is
that
there
was
ever a
the
need to
sole
remake
purpose.
anything?
And
I
then
don't
when
know, Sal.
it came
Tell me,
out,
defend that. Defend the need for this remake.
but
Money.
then when it came out, and I was like, it's a shot for shot remake. They didn't even add anything new.
Here was my thing, and I think would have made it kind of cool and creepy if they would have done it. If you would have still did the shot for shot remake, like the same movie that he made, and I'm fine with that, but you flipped it, so it's like a mirror image of the other movie. Just to fuck with it,
just to make it be that much more
make it
uneasy,
a little bit
yeah.
more different, because I've been like, I'm watching the
But
same
that's
thing,
the
but it's
thing.
different. Like
that's what I'm
it
saying.
would have
There
been
was
something,
no artistic choices made that I was like, yeah, this is its own thing.
Especially when you have the DVD next to you of the original, you're like, okay, nope, we need to move the shot more that way, which he literally did.
I don't understand. I just didn't understand it, and I still don't understand it. Like with the new remakes, and even with the older remakes, actors were very, actors and directors like, I wanted to do my own thing because you can't redo the
original.
And this is the perfect example of why
Yes.
you can't.
Is this why, like,
Saul, you're not defending.
I'm not. I don't care. I am not going to defend this crap.
you have to defend?
No,
it,
I don't.
Saul.
I don't. I'm making a stand.
I just don't get it. Like, what executive was like, this is a good idea, let's do this?
Money.
Why?
That's ultimately boils down
But
to
did it
is
even make money?
I
Like,
don't
I don't
even
know.
know.
I don't know. Like, I don't remember anyone being like, this was a great thing. I remember when it came out, like, people were like, it's an exact shot for shot remake. I'm like, wait, like literally?
Yeah.
And then I remember I waited, and I think I saw it on cable or something. I was like, this is dumb.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I rented it from Blockbuster. I didn't go see it at the movies.
Yeah, I wasn't paying for it.
Well, and I was young. I was 98. Yeah, I was like 12.
Yeah, it just seemed needless, pointless.
I mean, there was like 33% more asshole
Yeah.
in this one.
Yeah, that as an actress,
But-
I'm like, you just
And
gotta-
also masturbation. And
just
also
her butthole
masturbation
just out.
noises.
Like, that's got to be like, I mean, dying in the shower alone is, like probably one of the most vulnerable things, like we've said before.
It lost money.
Well, of course
Well,
it lost
yeah.
money. Yeah.
It had a budget of looks like $60 million, and it only grossed $37 million. So yeah, it lost money.
$60 million for a shot remake.
Yeah,
See,
it
like,
was estimated.
what director
took-
and like editor and writer were like, cha-ching, cha-ching,
And it
I
took-
did nothing.
And they shot it in 6 weeks, just like the original. So that's $10 million a week.
Jeez.
Yes.
Yeah, that production bled money. See,
in
why?
In 98.
In
no
98.
less.
Did
97.
anybody get fired over this? Is what I want to know.
Well,
Probably not. Gus
mean-
Van Sant still directs shit. I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously, it
I
didn't
mean,
really
even the
affect any
opening
of the
credits
actors.
were the same Hitchcockian thing, just with
The-
different names. I'm just like, why? I don't
There was a
understand.
few things that I read that he put in, like that opening shot is what Hitchcock wanted, but they couldn't do it with just the technology at the time.
Yeah, where it
they were
moves
able-
into
where,
the
it moves
motel
into
or
the
whatever.
motel, like that wide shot of the city, like going into that. So
Wait, they didn't have helicopters back then?
into a hotel. No,
well,
it wouldn't work.
not for film.
Yeah, not for making a Hitchcock film back then.
No.
There was no, it was all projection.
Hitchcock was
screens
like,
and
I'm gonna
everything.
throw this guy off this building, but we don't have a helicopter.
Look at the quality of the stairs scene in the original.
yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That's the effects budget they have.
The one thing that also gets me about this movie too is you would think, okay, now that it's modernized and you have probably the technology that's a lot better back from when it was made. The whole shower scene when he starts stabbing her, I'm like, this is just so corny that he didn't even try to update this.
Yeah, the shot for shot made it corny. Like it didn't make it scary. It didn't
and
make it
not-
ominous. It just made it corny.
And I'm pretty sure that blood was added digitally afterwards.
It seemed like it.
It
looked
seemed like
bad.
a couple of the drops from her face were also added digitally. Like if you look close
the
enough.
shower stuff looked to me like purely digital crap. I don't know about the other stuff, but I'm
It
like,
looked to me overly rehearsed. Like they're like, we know what we're trying to do with it, and we're trying to make it too much like the original.
it's
and
almost
I think
like
that's what hurt it.
it's a synchronized swimming like performance
Yeah.
basically of a movie.
that we've seen before.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like we've done this routine. It's when the white chick stole the black chick's routine, and what's that one movie?
Bring it on.
Bring
There
it
you
on.
go.
Yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, Gus Van Sant and whoever. Can you even say the writers of this movie? I'm like,
There
I
were
know. Were
writers.
there? It was like, is it just Hitchcock and
'cause
whoever
'cause
held them in the
'cause-
original?
Yeah, because I read in the trivia that they sent a script to somebody and they were like, "Oh, you guys sent me the wrong one. This is just the original script from the Hitchcock." And they're like, "Oh, that's the script we're going off."
No,
of."
no. It's,
Oh,
we're just
really?
gonna this one. This
Okay,
one, guys.
This is what you're doing.
So it's like, did you pay someone for this script then? Because the only change you
See,
made,
that's what I'm
and
saying.
now he jerks off.
Like $60 million
Jerk
for
noises.
what?
Jerk noises, and he's done. And and she gets into a Volvo. Cross that out. Yeah. So yeah, those are the only things you change. Like
It's gonna be $400,000.
so, like no dialogue. Yeah, just put it on zeros. Done. Masterpiece.
There we go.
Money, please.
I was cracking up when we watched it because we always watch with subtitles.
Okay, so they credit the guy who originally wrote it as the writer for this one.
Okay,
so obviously,
there wasn't a
Yeah,
new
so there was
writer.
no
No,
writer.
there was no.
Yeah.
Well, good then.
Yeah.
So someone got an uncredited quote unquote rewrite script to just add the changes.
Yeah, it's a ghostwrite.
They gave this guy $50. They're like, here you go. You can
And
Add
then
a-
this movie.
add
the
a scene that you
director
think would work.
and everybody else made lots of money, and the studio lost money.
oh yeah,
See, I'm like,
Yeah,
who
there's no
approached the studio
consequences.
about this?
This had to have been a thing that Gus Van Sant wanted to do.
But why? He didn't add anything special.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, if at least you flipped it around, like to where it would make you feel so eerie. Like, it would make you feel uneasy to watch it.
Yeah.
Because it already is like, it's cringy to watch it because it's the same movie just
Yeah.
with Vince Vaughn. And I'm sorry, it's so weird that he's young and skinny. He looks like Pete Davidson.
He does.
And I'm like, so I'm basically watching him like,
Really does.
I'm like, this is Pete Davidson right now. Like, this is not.
I'm like, he really
this-
has filled out into like a full grown
Yeah,
man. But at one point, he was very Pete Davidson.
He was very tall and lanky, and like, I'm like,
Do you think like Pete's gonna get there someday? You
yeah,
think?
probably.
I mean,
I don't know. It seems like every skinny dude like that gets thick. Like, look at Tom Hanks. He was skinny as shit like
he
that, too.
was. That's right.
And
He
now he's
was
like
a little thin.
I mean, he's not
beanpole.
like fat now, but he's like thick, you know.
Yeah, he's
So
like
it's
a full grown dude. Yeah.
he ate a couple
Yeah.
sandwiches and put on some weight.
Oh, the Castaway really up and down him.
I can't even imagine putting your body through that.
No, me either. But let's get back to it. We
Speaking
always
of-
watch with
speaking of putting-
subtitles.
Speaking of putting your body
Yeah.
through it, Anne Heche's butthole was out during the
It
whole shower
was.
scene.
And then in that scene before that, we were cracking up because the subtitles during the masturbation scene, like, list off everything. And I'm like, I
Well,
guess
if-
you really need to let the deaf people know that the masturbation is intensifying it. I guess like,
Okay,
it said masturbation intensifying.
Okay.
And I was
Hilarious.
dying
all right. I have to say one thing about
as that little thump noise comes out.
those for deaf people, right?
I always love the scene, and I don't know how to talk about this one without referencing the original.
Masturbating?
No, the scene where she's driving after she's stolen the money,
Yeah.
and like Marion's going through her head of like how everybody's going to be reacting to her crime. And I'm like, that would totally be me overthinking everybody's responses to my crime if I ever committed one.
Here's my question. What was her plan to even do with all that freaking money?
She was going to drive to her boyfriend and give him that stolen money like no one was ever going to chase her down. And again, in the 60s, it was probably way easier to do.
Yeah, in the 60s, especially
with cash.
With $400,000, well, it was 40 grand in the 60s or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if you had that much cash, like think about I always think back on fucking Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
I always think back on Shawshank Redemption, and I'm like, okay, in the mail, he was able to get all this shit and just go to the bank and be like, I'd like to just take out all my money now, thank you, and then just live. Like he had all these documents just
mailed to him.
And he was in prison and was able to do this. So I'm like,
we just watched a documentary, and apparently you were still able to do that in like the 70s and 80s. Man.
Into the 90s. We watched a documentary about a bunch of spies that Castro sent
from
to spy.
Cuba, yeah.
And they just worked here. And one guy worked for a military base. So yeah, it's not that hard apparently, even in the 90s.
You just mail order your shit, I guess. I was like, damn.
No, I'm Greg Jeffries from California.
Puerto Rico. Grew up in Texas.
I was born in California, moved to Puerto Rico. Here I am now.
But yeah, it was like in the 60s that worked. And then again, when she gets to the motel, right? When she gets to I'm not going to call it the Bates Motel because that building is not the Bates Motel.
The set of the Bates Motel,
he doesn't have any tech. He hasn't. I'm like, and this was 98. Like hotels had computers.
Yeah.
Like he's still just got a book, and I know he's supposed to be poor and all that stuff, but I'm like, even in 98, even the poor little shit mom and pop shops had something. They had some sort of computer. It might have been 80s DOS system, but they had something. You know,
the thing that cracks me up.
There's no way you're staying there unless you're hiding.
Yeah.
The thing that cracks me up, because you can obviously tell it was filmed, but when she was driving around in the car.
Oh yeah, with the scene behind her.
Yeah, she was just, to me, she's just sitting in there, and it's like the classic 60s movies, the 50s movies, where you can tell, okay, we gotta film you in the car. We're gonna put there, and we're gonna just have stuff playing around to make it seem like you're driving.
Yeah.
And that's what I took it from me too. So it was like, it just made it hilarious to me because you see her trying to act and then trying to hold the whole motion of driving, because I'm like,
Vigo does it too. In the end, they have that scene where him and Lila are driving around, which is Julianne Moore.
Yeah.
When they're driving to the hotel, and I'm like, that background is not real.
It never looks good, and it took me out of the film when they do it in Pulp Fiction. Like he does it in the cab scenes, and I'm like, it takes me out of the film. Like I get it. Like you know, if it was a black and white film, like maybe that changes things. Like
because in the 60s it worked.
yeah,
I'm saying, even if they made this one a black and white film and they did that, I think it would have worked.
It would have made it a little like
it
would have
been
at least
passable,
made it a stylistic choice. I feel like they didn't make any stylistic choices with this one at all.
Yes, because the thing that I was reading, he's very adamant at doing it with the same type of stuff that they had. The only update thing, like I said, that opening shot, because they were able to pull it off with what they had. I think he added a couple lines that he had to cut off. The line where the dirty cowboy that's buying the house for his daughter said, he said some line to her like, it's something. That when she's like, I'm going to be in bed all week, and he's like, the best. He's like, that's better than Vegas, blah, 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 or something like that. I guess Hitchcock had to cut that line out because they were worried about it or whatever. So Van Zandt wanted to include it, like little things like that Hitchcock wasn't able to do.
So he just really wanted to add the dirty stuff that wasn't okay in the 60s, and that was it?
And update the money and put Vince Vaughn into some weird
shirts.
I
don't think that was worth it.
no.
Because, again, they didn't change any of the dialogue. They shot it in the same stylistic way.
As we looked up, there's no screenwriter.
Well, I mean,
it's
even the actors and actresses, none of them are doing a terrible job, but they're literally just copying their counterparts.
The thing that I read is that Julianne Moore wanted to make that character a little bit different. She plays her more aggressive than the original sister in the movie. And I get that. And I can see that coming off.
Yeah.
Because she is a little more urgent and more like, I don't give a fuck. Let's do this now.
Let's find her. The thing that cracked me up with her character is when, they were waiting for Ebergast to call them, and they're like, "Where is he? We gotta go. We gotta go." And she's like, "Wait, hold on. Let me go get my Walkman."
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm like,
too. Because I was like, wait,
no.
what? Like, why? And just the fact that like someone's like, I gotta go get my Walkman. I'm like, when was the
Yeah.
last time you heard someone say that? Fucking
I don't
shit?
even remember being a kid and remember people saying, "I'm gonna grab my Walkman." It was always, "Let me grab my headphones," or "Let me grab
I'm
my
gonna go
music,"
grab my music or
or
something. Yeah, no one ever said that. Like,
No.
you know what it was? Promotional thing.
That's what I thought. That's exactly
yeah.
what I thought.
Emotional
too.
thing they added because I was like they definitely had to add that line because I don't fucking know. Remember the sister was like, "I'm going to get my music player."
Yeah, yeah, so weird, and like, yeah,
After
she
we
had,
grabbed my favorite 8-track.
and like she was more dressed up differently than
Yeah.
the other than the other Lila, but that was really it. And like, Arbogast. I'm like, you or just that suit is wearing you, Macy. Like that's so
Like that
And
suit
he
is too
was-
big.
And he was one of the ones that wanted to play the character the same.
yeah.
Yeah.
And see, he's a character actor, so that
Yeah.
that makes sense to me. But again, it's almost like when they do the revivals in plays, right? And like that makes sense because the actors are just acting for the
You
art.
know what? Here you go, Sal. Here's a good way to defend it. Cats is cats, no matter who fucking plays it. You've seen it on Broadway once, you've seen it 100 times. Every play is the same play, but they keep redoing it. They keep fucking playing it on
Well,
Broadway.
and I can
So you know
proudly
what?
say I've
So you know
never
what?
seen Cats in
So
any
you know what?
incarnation.
Let's just
so-
keep remaking all the Hitchcock movies, but updating them ever so slightly to today, where someone masturbates and wears a loud shirt.
masturbates increasing.
And that's the thing. Every Hitchcock movie, we're gonna add masturbation and a few cheesy, slutty lines about somebody's.
No, we
Well,
can't
now
do
we
that.
have to.
Yeah.
Now we have to redo Vertigo with some dude jerking it the whole time,
Birds.
just falling over, or jerking it.
That's the thing. He's his only means of employment is he goes to the sperm bank, but he's got vertigo, so he can't get it in the
he
cup.
falls over. a
He
lot.
can't get it in the cup, or he keeps falling over. So he's gonna go
No,
poor.
it's worse than that. He can't see the porn.
He can't see the porn, so he can't meet up. He's gonna go broke. He's got to solve.
This
so
is
what's
horrible.
The crime?
This
What's
is
the
horrible. We're gonna get calls from people
And
who
he's
get
a
vertigo
detective.
a lot. I can jerk
Yes,
up just fine.
the vertigo. You can jerk up just fine, thank you. Doesn't cure my.
We're so
Oh fuck! Hold on, sir. You there, sir? I'll be back.
I need a minute.
stupid.
He was like, I need to clean up.
You're so dumb.
We're gonna need a minute, Angie.
Andrew's gonna need a minute.
I'm sorry. I just pictured the guy falling over.
Vertigos unite.
Yep.
What do you call someone that's inflicted with vertigo? Vertigite.
Vertigo.
A person with vertigo.
A person with vertigo.
Person with vertigo. I'm saying like the medical term, you asshole. It's not like
Vertigo.
Jeff
It's just
is
a
what we call him. His name
Vertigo.
is Jeff Jerk.
Why does it
That's
have
what
to
they call it.
have a name?
It's called vertigo.
Because everything has a name. Like fucking plants have names that aren't the real fucking names. Because some scientists are like, I'm going to pay me $1 million to name this fucking
Well,
plant.
see, we're not those people.
just called
Paul.
vertigo.
This is a person with vertigo.
I'm going to add masturbation to the script and call it new.
Call it
Here's
art.
money.
Excuse
Here's
me,
money.
Paul. It is called art. Look
show
it up.
Show it sideways. Flip it upside down. Just do
Anything.
something different.
Anything.
Like one little thing besides jerking off and club
And
shirts.
putting it in color too. That was the other thing.
And ass clapping. I mean, it was really. It's the second movie in like a week time. We had ass clapping. I mean, what are the chances?
I know, fucking poor Anne Heche, and like that's got to be like the most, like the weirdest thing. I mean, if you're a porn star or whatever, like you're used to, you're fucking asshole. Like everything's out there. Your flabies, your labies, like everything is out there.
Yeah, we would get so
that you-
used to it.
Everything that you can get bleached, you've gotten bleached because it's going to be out there, right? But you're fucking actors, and you're gonna slump over and like, okay, well, there's just your butthole,
There's
and
the
we're doing an overhead shot, so
There's
just
the
butthole, and then he's gonna come in and clean around your butthole, and then he's gonna take your body out.
Oh, no, thank you. This is
Sorry,
why-
Pete Davidson.
This is why I
You
didn't
mean
get
Vince
into
Vaughn.
acting. One of the many reasons.
No, but that's my thing. I got into acting. My butthole didn't get into acting.
Yes.
Hey, but I mean, when you sign up to do a movie, hopefully there's a little disclaimer. It says, just so you know, your butthole will be starring in this role as well.
Well, I'm saying if you don't have a butthole clause, then it's
Yeah.
like, well, we got that in a film. We can't shoot
Exactly.
around that.
Everybody
I mean,
have a butthole clause.
in your nudity clause, you got to say, I cannot show my butthole. I will show stuff other
I
than my
need a
butthole.
stunt butthole if
There
that
you go.
happens.
Hey, this movie had a shit ton of money budget. They could
They
have
could
hired
have
a
a
stunt
stunt
butthole. There could have been some sort of silicone application.
That
We
would've
don't
been
know.
hilarious.
I mean, really, did they film this in between the tours at fucking Universal Studios?
No, because that was not the Bates Motel, Paul. That was some other building.
Okay, real quick. Why the fuck is Flea in this movie?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Why
don't
the fuck is
know.
he in this movie and playing just like the dumbest person ever?
This, I feel like this is
Hey, Bob.
this is if the '90s took shrooms and then they made a movie in honor of Psycho.
They were at like a post Oscars party and Van Zandt was like, you know what we fucking should do?
You know what we're gonna do, guys?
Guys, I don't know if this is the shrooms talking, but you know what we fucking should do? We should just remake fucking like, you know, Psycho.
We'll all get paid.
And then in the background, a Red Hot Chili Pepper song came on. I was like, that's what we need to add. We need to add Flea.
Dude, I'm gonna put Flea.
Flea
Is
is
that
gonna
fucking-
be.
He's like, he's been in movies.
Is that Flea, right? He was in that one movie with Charlie Sheen where they were in the fucking truck.
And that one Back to the Future. In Back to the Future. he's in
That's
that.
right. He drives trucks. Whoa, let's put him in a hardware store. That makes sense for a guy driving a truck in a movie.
And we need Lord Raiden as well.
Oh, yeah.
Lord Raiden.
Yeah, he can be a cop.
What's his name?
James Remar.
James Remar. I never remember his name.
Dude, we need to get more shroom to start writing this. Write what, dude? Let's make it a shot-for-shot remake.
What do we have to write? It's already been written.
Wait, what?
I mean, we couldn't do better than Hitchcock. Why would we even try?
It's like, what are we going to add to this movie?
What if someone asked you why you did this? I will just say so no one else has to. That doesn't make sense, dude, but they'll buy it.
There you go.
I'm an artist. Peel the onion.
We'll add
I've said this
buttholes and
before.
masturbation.
I've
Make it
said this
different.
before, but I do think that
what if
sometimes that
Norman
Hollywood
masturbates? That's
is
right,
just
bro.
trolling us.
Yes.
Like,
Let's see if we can get away with this.
yes,
Yeah.
I mean, like, look at some of the outfits that those people wear sometimes, and I'm like, they're obviously trolling
Okay,
us.
you mean like the actual people or like
Like
in the
all
movies?
of the institution of Hollywood.
All right, well, we're not talking about
Okay.
Hollywood fashion.
Well, I
today.
am high, and that's more interesting. And the Met Gala's today, and Lizzo played her flute on the Met Gala red carpet. It was gorgeous, and I've had a lot of weed, so I apologize.
Dude, let's make a movie with Lizzo and her flute. Where it's
This is gonna be the next thing.
Hey, we can remake a movie with Lizzo that's an Alfred Hitchcock movie.
It's
The Birds.
We'll do
That's
the
what we're
birds,
doing.
but it's just the flute. Like she's
She has to sing the flute. She's
no,
flute the birds away.
No, the flute. She controls the birds. With
Oh,
the flute.
well, isn't that
go.
just the crowing? All right, we're gonna do the crowing with Lizzo.
Did they use a flute in the crowing?
No, but we'll get Catherine O'Hara where.
Catherine O'Hara and Lizzo
Yeah.
starring
I mean, this movie's writing itself, much like
the
this
flute.
other one.
There's not
Yeah.
much to write. All we got to do is just add buttholes and masturbation, and we got.
I don't want Amber Heard in this though. You're
Yeah.
talking about buttholes.
That's been a rough. Apparently, she's gonna get on the stand. I don't think the world's ready for that. We weren't ready for the first week.
I'm telling you, that's the only thing we got to do. If we would decide to remake Birds, that's what we got to do. We got to take a cue from this crap and make.
Get Gus Van Sant on the phone.
There
Get in some shrooms and we'll talk him into this.
We got to
Like,
get Flea in there.
Dude, it's time for another one. No, it's
Yes.
not.
No, why is Flea been like? He was just randomly in. As like, was Flea just hanging out on movie studios at some
Probably.
point?
I'm
Like,
telling you, it's just like random Hollywood parties, or like he knows someone, or fucking our kids go to the same orthodontist. Oh, hey, you're Gus Van Sant. Hey, can I be in one of your movies?
Okay.
Sure.
her daughters are in preschool together.
Gotta put me in the next movie. Okay.
I want to race Marty at the end.
Raise Marty in his pickup truck. What? Okay.
So random.
Yeah.
So random.
Maybe Flea's scary as shit in real life. He's like, put me there, fucking move, or I'll fucking kill you. Oh my God, Flea.
That's how he got his acting career. He's just really aggressive.
He's like, I'm
Who's
just
going to
kidding.
believe that I'm this violent?
I'm just kidding. Or am I? You fucking son of a
dun dun
bitch.
dun. I wrote some notes. I suppose I should look at them.
What notes could you possibly write?
I wrote. I love when the mom is yelling at Norman, like she can't get her ugly appetite, or she can't take her ugly appetite elsewhere. I was like, is that what she's calling horny? Is an ugly appetite? Because I'm gonna start calling it that.
The ugly appetite is only reserved for the husband bulge.
Yeah,
I think that's where Mom was going with that one.
but I mean, Norman had lots of mommy issues.
Oh,
If we
yeah.
wanted to talk about those mommy issues. I
I don't
suppose
think- I don't
since
think-
it's
I don't-
mommy issue May.
I don't think Norman would have masturbated.
See, and I always thought it was creepier that he didn't.
Yeah.
because it was more like
he's so repressed.
he's so repressed. Yeah, and the act of it alone like would spin him and completely like I would be like the act would be too much for his brain.
Okay, especially if at the end, if Dr. Force, not Dr. Force, or whatever the fuck the doctor's name is, right? Dr. Simon, I think his name was. If he is saying that like it's mainly Mother and only sometimes Norman. So so the mom jerked Norman off is what we're hearing.
I know. I was like, so Norman was the one who did all the birds and stuff, but Mother did everything else. Like, and I know it'd be way too deep, and we'd have to have a whole other movie, and this is just a carbon copy of the original. But
we need a real movie. Yeah, explaining some things.
There's some mommy issues, and they got more into Norman's mommy issues in I think Psycho 4. He said in The New Beginnings.
Yes.
Yeah, they explore that, which is actually a pretty good movie.
Henry Thomas does a good job.
It's way better than this.
He actually wanted to play this.
Oh, really?
Henry Thomas auditioned for it.
He would have been better because he's still got that Norman-y body type.
Yeah, especially back in 98, 97, 98. I think it would have been well. It would have went well for him. But you know what? It's probably better that he didn't because this was a terrible movie.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
It's so weird to be like, this was a terrible movie, but it's the same thing as the other movie, which is great.
I know, and that's the thing.
It's because it doesn't work. It doesn't
Nobody
translate.
in this is bad. Nobody's giving a bad performance. It's just
Not
a
at
carbon
all.
copy performance.
Like even when you said William H. Macy is a character actor, and he based it off of like the original guy. And I get it. He was kind of being that like 60s like kind of detective. Like, what do you got, bud? What are you doing back there? Huh?
Yeah.
Like he was being that character, and I get it. And it's like, it wasn't bad either. Even though you're doing the same thing as the other guy, like it's not bad. It doesn't take me out of it. Like we said, the eating thing takes me out of it just because it wasn't natural. It was like I think he had candy.
Yeah, it looked like it was M&M's or something.
It looked like
that.
peanuts or something, but he
Yeah.
kept saying like, "You want some candy?" Because he kept offering people candy. I'm like, who the fuck like? That'd be like the weirdest thing. Someone's like, "I have a bag of warm candy, right? A paper bag full of warm candy. Would you like some?" I'm like, "No."
and again, maybe in the 1960s, that was more of a thing.
Well, to me, and I don't know if it's just where we are now, but I'm like, even in the 90s, I'm like, no, I don't want your bag of pea candy.
You don't want your unmarked bag of candy. No, thank you.
I don't know what you did to those M&M's.
I don't want to even stay in this motel, let alone take your candy.
Right.
I just turned down the wrong road, and I have to stay somewhere. So.
And in 98, like they didn't have any of the tech. They didn't have they brought up the Walkman.
Yeah.
But not a mention.
It's a promotional.
Not a
It had to
mention
have been.
of like a cell phone. Not a mention of a beeper, a pager,
assuming-
like nothing.
I'm assuming there's some buried 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, like Norman Bates, kind of Psycho Discman, like commercial, Walkman commercial from the 90s. Got to get my Walkman.
Yeah.
What?
If they would have
Darn
had
Steve's
any
eBay.
music, if they would have had any music come out, it could have been one of those McDonald's little things that came out with the
little
movie
disc.
soundtrack things. You remember those?
Right. Wow. Taking it
I
back.
thought it was
Yeah.
funny how they just randomly had Rob Zombie's Living Dead Girl in there. I'm like, what the hell?
Did it?
Yeah, it just randomly showed up.
When
it
did
was
that happen?
when she got to the car dealership.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't paying attention.
I missed that too.
Well, the weird thing about it though is I don't know if it was happened on you guys, but the version that I saw had a weird mix with the audio. So to me they kept was overplaying the theme, and it was overlapping with like some of the other stuff. So when I heard the theme and the Rob Zombie song on them, I was like, wait a minute, is this intentional or what's going on?
Yeah, I didn't hear Rob Zombie, but
I
it could
heard
have been at the thing. But there was those little quick cuts of like random.
The cow and the lady. There was a naked lady.
Yeah, and there was another time there was like storm and like other stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why? Again, it's a little extra thing, but it's not enough.
It doesn't like.
And again, it was just random things that didn't add anything to the story.
It was pointless.
Yeah.
Like, it really did. I'm like, it's like, okay, you're doing the bare minimum to make it different, like at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like I'm plagiarizing, but I'm going to change 3 things.
I'm gonna do enough to make it different.
It's not enough though.
But yeah, that's the one thing is I think they felt like they did enough, but they didn't. It's like it's way too similar.
Yeah. I always thought it was funny. He's like, hey, come have dinner with me in this dead animal office. She's just like, yeah, okay.
I don't know, man. Like the The moment that she's in the room and like he hears her arguing with mother, I'm like, get in the fucking car and get out of there.
Oh, yeah, no. And then when he has that line of boy's best friend as his mother, I'm like, that's the international signal for run, bitch.
You're gonna die. Don't
Like,
go.
you need to just
and don't
leave.
ever. Okay, horror PSA. Don't ever. If there's ever like a creepy looking motel like that, and you have to stay there, like you have to stay there. Please don't stay there if there's no one else there. But if there's other people and you feel comfortable enough to stay there, don't ever stay in the room right next to the office.
Well, the more she
there's
gets-
a hole looking in the bathroom.
The more she keeps
Something,
talking to him,
man.
the more it's like, you need to get the fuck out of there, because she's like, you don't have any friends.
And like
You don't
after
need-
that
feel the
creepy
need to
encounter, I would be like, nope, I'm not gonna put myself into a more vulnerable situation. I'm just gonna lay in the bed and probably stare at the door until the sun peeks through the clouds. Like that would be my
Or she could have just done what she did earlier and just sleep in her car.
yeah. And then because when she gets there, she's like, oh, I'm only 15 miles away from blah blah. I'm like, just keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep
Yeah,
going.
like that's a 10-minute drive.
Yeah.
Well, if
Just
anything,
who
too,
cares,
she
man?
pulled in there thinking, okay, I need to stop because it's raining. She could have just waited out the storm, because once she
Yeah.
got there, it didn't take too much longer for it to stop.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like when she was yelling, or when she heard mother and Vince Vaughn arguing, I was like, well, I'm not sleeping now. Get in the fucking car and get the fuck out of there like, right now.
Like you just keep the money I gave you. And
Keep your
Yeah,
3650.
you're out
I'm outta here.
$36.50. Who cares, man? Just
36.50
No.
for my life. I'll
You got
take it.
you got 400,000, and 3650 of that is gone.
well,
So
minus $4,000
Yeah, there
for
you
the
go.
stupid car that she bought.
Yeah. Would you guys have taken the money back?
Okay, well,
I mean, we're all not thieves.
Well, here's the thing
If
about-
any
here-
CIA
well, all right,
agents
well,
are listening, none of us are thieves.
here's what I'm saying. I'm not a cute white woman, so no, I would have. I couldn't go back and not be charged with anything.
Well, I don't think that she thought she wouldn't be charged.
Well, no, because even there, no, but whether she said it or not, whether she thought that or not, the brother, or not the brother, the sister and the boyfriend.
Yeah, they said at the end,
detective
yeah.
was like, they don't want anything. They just want the money back. You know?
Well, I think the guy felt like an ass because all he did was the Texan was drunk when he gave her the money. First off, they would just come from their drinking lunch.
yeah.
And then he was all kind of gross about it. So again, in the 1960s, when your looks as a businessman meant a lot, I'm sure to be out $400,000 from some cute girl
That's
that
a
you
lot
hit
of fucking
on.
money.
no, okay. In her defense, she said something about like, "Wow, it's a lot of cash to carry around." He says, and I'm paraphrasing, if not, but I quote, "I never carry around more than I can afford to lose."
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's how
I'm
she
like,
rationalizes
"Bitch,
it.
If you can afford to lose this, then I'm out of here.
Then I guess
and
I'm
this
taking
no
it.
air conditioning having fucking job that I
Right?
can't even fucking.
Right?
Bye, Phoenix.
Look, I don't steal, and not that I've ever been in a position where some person has handed me $400,000 in cash.
Here, deposit this in the bank.
But if I was,
Okay, and I don't care who you are. Well, if it's my business, and I'm like, go deposit this, and then I'm gonna go home like. After you come back and show me that fucking deposit slip, you can go home. But you ain't going home right after the fucking bank. I'm like, I don't trust your ass.
Seriously, that's interesting. A lot of people be like, you're telling me to go
I'm going to
deposit
go to the
this.
bank and then I'm going to go straight home. Like,
And you just told me that you don't carry around more than you can afford to lose.
yeah, I mean, it was. Was she not gonna steal it? I mean, come on.
He was pretty much just daring somebody to do it by saying what he said.
We all know, especially now. Like, I don't know, maybe back in the 1990s, but now I'm like, I know that most rich people have their money insured.
it's
So
weird.
they're gonna get it back either fucking way. So is it really even a crime?
Yes, because you can't insure cash.
Well, yeah, you can't.
The
insure
only way
cash.
that you're insuring cash is if you have like fucking armored trucks deliver or pick up money. That's the only way you
Brinks
can
Mm.
truck?
insure cash. Other than that, like, yeah, you're on your own if you're carrying cash. And nobody can insure that. Because I would just lose it all the time. File insurance claim. See?
So it would be a crime.
It would
darn.
be a crime.
People
It's
would find a way
fraud.
around it.
Yeah, but realistically, he probably used fraud to get that much
weird.
money.
It's
so.
weird to say like in the 90s, but also because everything was based in the 60s. Like when
Yeah.
we're talking about this movie.
That's why this movie doesn't work
Because we're like in the 90s, this wouldn't have happened.
Because he
of
doesn't
this,
set it
or 'cause of
apart.
that, like,
in any way from the 60s to the 90s. There's
yeah, you
no
can't just-
big differential.
You can't just update the money amount.
Yeah, the money amount in some cars.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And whacking off.
And a Walkman.
I'm gonna whack it off. Entirely promotional Walkman. There was a commercial where you turned around.
I'm convinced they had to do a reshoot because they were like, shit, we don't have enough
We don't have
90s
enough to finish
references
it.
in here.
Yeah. There's a commercial somewhere where the mother turned around in the chair and she was listening
She
to
had
her
Walkman,
Walkman.
yeah.
She had a Walkman.
And there was some cheesy rock song playing.
Norman didn't want her to get lonely. She gave her some
Going on
tunes.
vacation, Mom. Sit here with your Walkman and try not to decay.
Kill anyone. You crazy bitch. Moms and mommy issues. Somebody had to have a lot to want to remake this movie.
Yep.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, there's no reason. There's, again, I didn't find a good enough reason to remake this because they didn't do
So
it.
let's remake a movie shot for shot and then take it somewhere and be like, you guys paid Gus Van Sant for this.
There you go.
They'd just
for
be
this.
like, but you're not Gus Van Sant.
Well,
Like,
here's the other thing I'm
Here's
trying
what
to
I
wonder
can do
too:
is,
is
for
did it
no
fall on
reason.
some sort of anniversary since the original?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Would it have, maybe 30th or so? But still, what's the point? Like, you probably would have made more money to be like, we have this, restored edition Blu-ray. I don't think Blu-ray 98, probably not.
No, probably a DVD.
Yeah, the
This-
original
this
came out in
DVD.
1960, so
Not
This
even.
again, not even it'll be 37 years later. Like,
Yeah.
not even like a
Not even
regular
like a giant anniversary.
38 years. So yeah, so like 40th anniversary DVD, fully restored.
We need to invent a time machine and go back to '98 and figure out why they decided to make this.
I'm sure there's interviews somewhere where someone had to be like, why?
why? Why, guys?
Can you tell us why?
Well, especially after the movie lost money. We'll have to look this up.
Yeah.
Because, after something bombs, they always ask the obvious questions.
Whose fucking fault was this?
They just talked to the mummy guy recently. He said a lot of lessons came out of it, so hopefully Van Sant learned some lessons.
I hope it is don't hire Tom Cruise in a horror movie or ISK movie.
I never saw it.
Hey, well, he's dipping back into his old stuff, and now he's fucking Maverick 2 Electric Boogaloo.
There you go.
I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of getting
The
sick of-
nostalgia's wearing.
No, I'm kind of getting sick of Miles Teller is what I was going to say. He's kind of annoying me now. I don't know why.
I don't watch anything he's in, so he doesn't really
He's
know.
just in a lot of stuff, and I'm like, you're not, I don't know. You're always just like, yeah, you're just not good. I don't know what it is.
Hey, I have a
get on
lot of
board with
those. I have a lot of those
Yes,
people
you do.
from
We know-
time
we
to
know-
time.
Yeah, we know.
I just can't
We know
get on board
Angie.
with him. I don't know.
But that was this week's episode.
He's this
and the-
generation's Tom Cruise. That's what it is. He's turning into that. I see it now. Nope, I'm going to call it right now. When he's Tom Cruise's age, he will be just as, if not more, batshit crazy. I'm
He's
calling
going to
it
have a
right
couch interview, you
now. I'm
think?
calling it right now.
If he's scheduled to be on
gonna be-
Oprah,
She
doesn't have a show
She has her own
anymore.
network now. She can have any show she wants. He's going to be this generation's Tom Cruise. Calling it
Well.
now. Sorry, millennials or zennials or what's
Yes.
after millennials?
I don't know.
There's this Generation Z, right?
There you go.
Gen Z.
What's after Gen Z? Is that a thing yet or
I
no?
don't know.
Where are these kids today?
Infants? I don't know.
I don't know.
Who cares? We're all going to deal with the shit that we're dealing with.
You're supposed to defend it, you son of a bitch.
I refuse to defend this movie. If it was somewhat at least redeemable, I would have defended it, but no.
It would have
It
been
really
better as a music video.
What else has Gus Van Sant directed?
I don't know.
I don't know. So do they think they find the money at the end?
I don't think they do.
I
If they
think
do, it's going to be all wet and
Yeah, it's going to be in the trunk with
Paul.
Marion.
So if you find $400,000 all wet, you're like, I don't want it.
You launder it. You just take it to the
Did it-
laundry
you throw it
mat.
in the laundry.
You selling mom jokes for
I am.
Mother's Day month?
Yes. I'm a mom.
Tell us your best mom jokes.
Yeah, if you have any good ones, we'll tell them here on the podcast. So email us at podcast@scarednerd.com and we will tell your
Mom
terrible
jokes.
mom jokes.
Yikes. You opened us up to.
Hey, give us your best shot. The dirtier, the better, because we all know some dirty moms.
Saul will give you his glasses.
No, he won't because he needs to see.
Saul will shave his beard and give you his beard shave.
We'll send you the beard
Yeah.
in a Ziploc bag.
Yeah, it's yours.
The
Send
best-
us your best mom
The
joke.
best mom joke gets Saul's beard.
No, I'm not giving up my beard either.
Well, Well, we'll be back next week with another Mommy Issues film.
You gotta sleep sometime,
Stay
so.
tuned.
I know I gotta sleep.
We will see you next week.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Bye.